upon a time there was the land of Israel, and people lived here together, both Jewish, Arab, Palestinians, some British, but they were not that good here. But people kind of lived together at that time. I don't want to talk about the reasoning of what happened because it's not relevant. What is relevant is how people were banished from their houses. Whether it was because of war, we believe that people who thrived and had their own work and were good citizens and good friends of their neighbors were banished from their houses and lost a lot. We believe that those people, their main thing they're fighting today, those are the Palestinian people, before everything, is the recognition of their wrongs and the right of returning back to their homes, to their lives as they were before, although they're not going to be the same, but we believe the best thing for them is to be an integrated part for society so they can move on, and so true integration and happiness from both sides can happen. How's it going to look like? Then I'm going to take you. Basically, we believe it's going to be a semi-democratic, maybe federal state, depends on what we see works more and what both sides prefer, right? We're not going to have any borders, this is the benefit. There's not going to be any more blockades like we have in Gaza. Yes, we're integrating Gaza into the Palestinian as they want right now. They're a part of the Palestinian people. We believe that under this one-state solution, they're definitely going to have more influence, which means they're going to be a curriculum, not one-sided as it's written today, both on the Jewish and on the Palestinian side. We have one-sided curriculums with one side of how the world looks like. We're going to have an integrated curriculum which teaches the story and history as is, with harms from both sides and benefits from both sides, as history should. Yes, we believe that in the short term it may be a little bit hard for both sides. We believe it's gonna, because we're talking from the what's going to be the best for the Palestinians. Yes, we believe that for the Palestinians it's going to be a little bit hard as well, because there may be wars in the beginning, but there is wars today as well. People are not living well. But more than that, how do life look today? And let's compare it to how it would look like when we have a two-state solution. Notice that when we have a two-state solution, yes.
Will the state still be a Jewish state, and will you grant right to return for Palestinians all
yes,
around
exactly,
the world?
of course, yes. Not all around the world, the people who can prove they lived here and were banished, yes, of course, because this is like one state, and that's the best for the old Palestinians people who were banished, right? So it makes sense. So basically, I don't care if it's Jewish or not. All I care is the best for the Palestinians, and what we believe is the more people who choose, they're going to choose. If there's going to be more Palestinians here, obviously it's not going to be completely a Jewish state. It's going to be a Palestinian state. But we do believe that there's going to be an integration of government. As in democracy, you have representation of all the people who live in the city, and like in the government today, everybody's going to have their way to say, to pull things to their society. And we believe it's not going to completely be Palestinian, but it's going to have like Jewish people pulling to their weight as well. And it's going to be democratic, we agree about that, but it's going to have like benefits from both religions and both ways of life. So how does it look today? If we choose the two-state solutions, because we're considering one versus the other, in the two-state solutions, it's very important to know this, we're still gonna have borders, right? Because we have Gaza and we have Palestine, and that's what they're talking about right now. We have to somehow go between Gaza to Palestine, right? How are we gonna go? That we can do that by plane or via land, right? This is not gonna be safe for the Jewish people who are already today objecting to the idea. What does this cause? That we still have to have borders, that we still have to have border controls, and that we still have to mistreat people who are doesn't look good to our eye and the eye of the Jewish people. The minute they're integrated, we also learn to see the other and learn to see that he's not so much of a danger to me as I am. But more than that, also in a one-state solution, because we have general police policing everything. If people are trying to hide guns or do things that are bad, that are people doing the status quo, like doing tunnels underneath the earth, it will be much easier if we have general police who is all under the control of the entire area, instead of like going back and forth, out and in, blah, 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 of Gaza, right? So let's talk about two main things. One, how is the conditions of life are going to improve for the Palestinians, which I already started talking about, and again I'm going to touch a little bit of the importance of the fulfillment of the right of return. So how is it going to look like in tomorrow's world? Firstly, Israel is full of like good, sustainable programs that give you water. In Gaza today and in the Palestinian areas, you don't have clean water to drink. You don't have as good electricity as you have in Israel. The minute the state is integrated, we don't have borders, it's not as scary to cross anymore. That means that we can provide people with provisions. More than that, the Palestinians, like they do in today's world, wouldn't have to fight to get jobs in Israel because the jobs in Israel are better. We're going to have a general better government who controls the jobs and everybody can work everywhere. What does that mean? They don't have to cross border. They don't have to go through the checks that make them hate Jewish people even more because they're going through mistreatment all the time because people are fearful on the other side. No, because now we live together and we see everything and you can go everywhere freely. Now, also, again, we have cameras and we have police, so we don't believe that on the safety side it's going to be that better. Now, if we just look at Gaza, that's a steady case. Like, because it's closed today, they don't have water, they don't have infiltration, they don't have good policing, because it's under the control of the Palestinian rules. Why we do believe that the Palestinian government and like the Muslim government today is not good? Because it's not a democracy. We're going to talk more about it in the like as we go. But more than that, we believe that more people want democracy. They want liberty. What normal people want, what most people want is to have a good life, is to raise their kids. And this is, we're talking from the point of view of most Palestinians, right? We believe that under a government which is not as extreme, people will be more able to grow, to be more able to have a good life's earning, will have better life conditions, giving them better abilities as they grow, giving them better education in the future, which allows them to create even better life for themselves. When they have a less extreme government, it's not always about fighting each other, right? The importance of fulfillment of the right of return, obviously I talked about it a little bit before. That's one of the basic things that are basic identity Palestinians. That's what a lot of Palestinians is the first thing they write on their flag, the right of return, the right of return. Notice POI was about the right of return, right? That's a very important thing. The minute I have a two-state solution, definitely the right of return is not going to happen. Why is it so painful for the Palestinian people? Because it's the one thing that hurt them the most back then when Israel was created. The Jewish people not accepting that harm was done and that people were banished from the houses and not allowing them to come back. We believe that when that step is done, when people are living together, both lives will always look better. But Palestinians don't.